What's up guys, it's BT here, and this is the review of the X-Ray Pad Thor mouse pads. Now there's an extended version and there's also the regular mouse pad version as well. So with mouse pads, there's a lot on the market to choose from. There's many different surfaces, consistencies, whether you want a control pad, whether you want a speed pad or more glide or more stopping power. And I think that's really cool to see a lot of different surfaces out there now so that we have a wide variety to choose from to get our own personal taste. So with this mouse pad, the Thor, it comes with the completely new surface that I've never tried before. It's more of a cloth, polished cloth at that, so it's a little bit different than your normal cloth pad. So today we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of this mouse pad and see if this mouse pad is for you. All right, so let's start off with the pricing. Now I feel like the pricing is actually really competitive. It's $17 for the XL version and only $30 for the extended version, which is more of like that XXL pad. The colors it comes in is black, and now they have a white version as well. And before I forget guys, I am also going to be putting the 15% discount code in the description so you guys can get even bigger of a discount, making this mouse pad even more worth it. So for the sizing, the XL is going to be like your standard mouse pad standalone. It's going to be 400 by 450 by 3 millimeters thick. And then for the extended version, it is 900 by 400 by 3 millimeters thick. And this is going to be the same thickness as a 3XL Glorious or 2XL Glorious. As for the sizing, it is exactly the same size. It's like a Mad Catz Glide 38 or an Asus Scabbard. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the Glorious XXL and definitely smaller than the 3XL Glorious. And it's going to be a little bit shorter, so it's not going to go as deep into your desk. But after switching over to low sensitivity recently and switching to arm aiming, this hasn't been a problem. I've never run out of mouse pad with either of these mouse pads. So the surface is going to be this cloth, but it's a polished cloth. So it feels almost like a Glorious, but then it feels like they just smoothed it out and got rid of those little fibers that kind of stick up on a cloth pad that kind of get in the way and you kind of feel that scratchiness. No more of that. It is super smooth. It's smoother than a baby's butt. Okay, this thing is really smooth. And even though it's not spill resistant, I've tried to really like just use it like I normally would use a mouse pad. I would eat on it, I would spill stuff on it, spill coffee, spill soda, and it's been the same. The consistency has been the same. There hasn't been a change in smoothness over time as well. So I really like the polish that they use on this mouse pad. You'll still be able to see like where you spilled stuff, so it's not as good as a hybrid pad, so just keep that in mind. As for the stitching, I know a lot of you guys don't like it, but this one is actually really good. You can barely feel it. There's no fiber sticking up. It's not harsh. It's not a really tight or big weave so that you're gonna feel it on your arm when you're swiping across it. It feels really comfortable, even for you low sensitivity arm aimers out there. It does have a rubber base, and my desk is one of the most slipperiest surfaces ever. I don't know what they did, but this bamboo surface that I'm using, it's really slippery, and this one does a pretty good job of laying flat. It's not as good as like the silicone bases on like the Mad Catz Glide 38. As for the Glide, it feels exceptionally good. It's got me thinking about leaving my Glide 38 because of how comfortable it feels on your arm. So another thing that I love about this mouse pad is that it has that cloth surface that's very comfortable for your arm, but you still get a nice pleasant stopping power as well. And I say this because on some cloth pads, when they have a lot of stopping power, you're gonna stop, but for me personally, I like to flick and then micro adjust. And some of you guys out there might actually do that already and you might not even know it. But what that entails is that you're moving the mouse to somebody's head and then you micro adjust. So you don't try to make a big movement and try to flick, right? Because the odds of you hitting it are less. But what you do is you flick over to the general direction and then you do a little fine micro adjustment to their head. And you guys might not even know that you do that, but that's something to take into consideration. So if you have a huge stopping power, let's say you stop, right? And you need to micro adjust, the force that it takes to move onto that person's head, it might throw you off. And for me personally, that's why I can't use super control pads, because I'll actually fly past somebody when I do that. So it's really nice that this has that nice pleasant stopping power. So when I need to micro adjust, I can do that, but at the same time, it gives me enough accuracy to move onto their head and flick. As for the speed, I would put this somewhere in the middle. It's not as fast as an Asus Scabbard or a Glide 38. It's somewhere in the middle there. It's in that gray area in between like stopping power and glide. And these are about half the price price of the Mad Cats and the Scabbards, so you're getting a great deal here. So I would say if you're somebody who likes the glorious pads like the XXL or the 3XL, but you want something a little bit more faster, a little bit more glide, but you want that same kind of feeling, this is the mouse pad for you. That's the best way to sum up this mouse pad. And also I want to throw in that it's not as fast as a Shinnenkai or a Raiden. It's just not. It's not that. It's somewhere in the middle. It's going to give you a lot of stopping power, but like I said, very pleasant, so you can do those micro fine adjustments and not overflick your opponent. All right guys, so that's going to do it for the X-Ray Thor mouse pads. Amazing mouse pads. Definitely worth checking out, especially for the price. If you guys are on a budget or you want something with glide, but you don't want to spend $60 for an Ace of Scabbard or Glide 38, but maybe the glorious XXL pads don't work for you, this is going to be your best bet. All right guys, it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.